welcome back to Nick's Mini Bikes. Today we're going to try to get a fuel system put on this bike. Apologize for the wind. It's this or snow the next few days, so this is what I got. This little tank here works, but I don't like the way it looks. I want it contained in the frame, and I want to fill some of the void in the frame. So I got this old Briggs & Stratton tank that I found in my grandpa's basement, actually. And we're going to take it, and we're going to mount it in the frame right here. And that's going to make our outlet for the fuel lower than the carb. So we're going to throw a pulse pump on there as well. So let's get to it and get this fuel system put in here. So now I'm going to be doing some welding. So the first thing I'm going to do is clean the paint off around this rectangle here, because I want to center that tank in there. So I'm going to clean up the metal around where we're going to be working first and take some measurements. All right, we got that all cleaned up. Now we're just going to mark center on these two here and these two. And it's going to be in inches. Just kind of go from the center of the bars. Close here, about 9 inches. So we'll mark this one at about 4.5. 9 inches, let's get 4.5 again. So this way we'll go from this bar to the center of that one, right up against it. 14, 7 inches. About right there. 14, so 7 inches, be about right there. And we'll do the same to the tank here. We got 4 3/4. Half of that is 2 3/8. Mark it there. And we'll mark it there. Now we'll do the same along this side here. We got 9 3/4. Be 9 3/4. Half of 9 is 4.5 plus 3/8. It's going to be 7/8. 4 7/8 there. 4 7/8 there. So we got our center of the tank. What I'm going to do is just eyeball line up those marks as we go here. I want that tank sitting right in there like that. Actually, probably turn it this way. I want that tank to be sitting something like that by the time we're done here. How are we going to do that? Well, I picked up the flat bar here. I'm basically just going to make a saddle for that tank to sit in, and then I'll bolt the strap across the top. We should be happy. So let's get to it. The first thing I want is the distance between the bars here. We got 4 1/4 minus our tank, which now I'm getting 4 13/16. Math, stupid. All right, guys, so I took a second to take some measurements and do some math. This is what I come up with here. So this here is the frame, 8.25 wide, 13.5 long. Here's our tank, 4.812 wide, 975 long. So I took the widths and subtracted them here, and that gives me how much space I'm gonna have between the rails and the tank. Then I divided it by 2 to get how big the gap's gonna be on each side, and that's what I came up with there. Did the same thing for the length. Length minus the length divided by 2 gives me this, and that's how far it's gonna be from this rail and that one. So I don't know, math, could be wrong, but it'll get me in the ballpark. Math, stupid. So let's just get started here. Got that first bin done, the next bin done. So this next one we need at 9 3/4, and it's a little more critical than the last one. So we'll get that bent and be right back. Dang, check that out. Nailed that puppy at 9 3/4, but that's wrong. So we'll have to bend it straight and do it again. All right, guys. Nailed that one. Now we need to bend this part to go under the bottom of the tank. So there's our next bin there, and that tank sits in there just like that. Now we just gotta bend a tab like this one over here, and that'll be our first bracket done. We'll measure 3 inches off this way, cut it off. There's our first bracket. Tank sits in there pretty nice. And that's just gonna sit right there. Now I need to make another one for the back side, so let me get that knocked out real quick and we'll bring it right back. We got both of our brackets done. Got my tabs cleaned up, corners rounded just a little bit. Now we're gonna do a little bit more measuring on the frame here, decide where we want these. So just do some measuring here. You know, we need, all this is super precise. 1 7/8 inches there. 1 7/8 inches there. So that's where the end of my tank should be. The same from this side here. About 1 7/8 inches. Feed it over here. 1 7/8 inches. So that's where my tank should land, is here to here, front to back. So we'll mark 1 inch in over here. We'll mark 1 inch here. Mark 1 inch there. And I'll mark 1 inch there. So that's where I want these to go. Like that. Like that. We'll get that tacked in there. Do this one just a little bit different because that didn't work very well. We got those tacked. Now I want straps to go from there to there. And we're just gonna cut them at 9 inches, I guess. So I'll get those cut and I'll be right back. All right, we got it all tacked, we got it all drilled. Now, I do have a plan for the little tabs we got hanging off here. I'm gonna heat them up with the torch. I'm gonna try to wrap them around that bar. So let's do one of those. So there you go. There's one. Wraps around. Now I can weld it all the way around, and I'll repeat that on the other 3 sides, and then I'll bring you back. Got them all bent down. Now it's gonna take a second, and I'll just weld them up. Well, guys, I don't know. It could just be me, but I think that new welder that the guys over at Small Engine Performance Waffles, along with those guys from Big Boys Mini Bikes, helped me get. I think that welder burns hotter. Definitely not the prettiest welds in the world, but they'll hold. Once again, I'd like to thank all those guys for helping me out and getting a new welder. Still don't know what to say. So thankful. So I already did this side. Got some of this foam insulation tape. All I'm doing is getting a rough idea of how long we need. Ripping it, peeling it, and sticking it on there. I'll follow one edge all the way down, all the way around. Sure it's stuck down really good. Tear it off even. And I'll rip off the extra around the back side here. I'll put some on the bottom sides of these too. Now hopefully that tank will fit. And that's her final home. All I got to do now is tighten up those 4 bolts, and that tank is done. Alright guys, so that's going to do it for this episode of Nick's Mini Bikes. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think about that gas tank placement, and what you think about using that foam so we're not metal on that tank, rubbing holes in it or anything like that. I like it. I like the way it looks. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. We'll catch you on the next one.